Good morning, everybody. It looks like we are ready to go. We have a full morning, and so let's get started. A little bit of housekeeping details. We have a number of presentations. My colleagues are all invited to speak on all of them. I hope they don't take us up on that invitation. And I would ask, because of the full morning, that if we have speakers receiving these awards, we just get one from each particular organization, and apologies for that, but we're starting a bit late and we've got a lot to cover today. Welcome to the board meeting for the Orange County Board of Supervisors for April 25, 2023. We are going to start in our parade of proclamations, very richly deserved to a number of organizations and folks, with World Wish Day. So that'll be our first presentation for today. I'd like to invite up Make-A-Wish Chief Executive, Gloria Crockett, Make-A-Wish Marketing and Communications Manager, Caitlin McDougall-Guzamo. Come on around. Come on around so we can get you up here and get some pictures. And Make-A-Wish recipient Addison Chang of Fountain Valley, as well as members of Addison's family. Observed on April 29 each year, World Wish Day celebrates the anniversary of the wish that inspired the creation of Make-A-Wish. Since its beginnings in 1980, Make-A-Wish has granted more than 520,000 wishes around the world. This makes Make-A-Wish Orange County, this year Make-A-Wish Orange County and Inland Empire celebrates its 40th anniversary of granting over 7,800 wishes to children battling life-threatening medical conditions in Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. Every 20 minutes, a child is diagnosed with a critical illness, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation has a mission to grant the wish of every eligible child. Make-A-Wish, a wish come true, helps a child feel stronger, more energetic, and more willing and able to battle their critical illness. Make-A-Wish reports that 95% of WISH alumni felt more hopeful for their future after their wish. 90% of medical professionals said they have observed children increasing their compliance with treatment after learning they would receive a wish. WISH parents and families see their child's wish as a turning point in their treatment, giving their child strength and a sense of empowerment. We're proud to proclaim April 29 as World Wish Day throughout Orange County, but we also want to congratulate Make-A-Wish Orange County and Inland Empire on its 40th anniversary and thank them for improving the lives of children with critical illnesses throughout our county. I'd like to see if any of my colleagues would like to say a word. And if not, invite up Make-A-Wish CEO Gloria Crockett to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Chairman Wagner. We appreciate getting the proclamation. We are so thrilled to be able to provide life-changing wishes for those kids and their families when they need it most. I just like to introduce Addison as one of our WISH alumni. She had a wish when she was 7, and now she's 13 and going to OSHA, and she battles a heart condition. So what we're here to do is we're to provide that hope and inspiration when they need it most, and we're part of their treatment options. So right here in our counties that we service, we have provided, in our 40 years, 7,869 wishes, which is absolutely amazing. And I want to say thank you to our community for allowing us to do that, because we wouldn't be able to grant wishes without each and every one of you. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Ms. Crockett. We have a small token of appreciation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Let's just head over there for a picture. All right, we have next Community College Awareness Month. A quick personal story. I got my start in serving the Orange County community on a community college board, the South Orange County Community College Board. I learned there, and I learned very quickly, the importance of community colleges to our higher education system, and more importantly, what an absolutely fantastic job they do in that role in our higher education system. And so our next presentation is for Community College Month. I would like to invite up, we have the board president from the South Orange County Community College District, my old role, and he is filling my shoes more than adequately, Tim Jamal. Come on up, Tim. From the Rancho San Diego Community College District, we have trustee Zeke Hernandez here. From the South Orange County Community College District, it's Chancellor Dr. Juliana Barnes. And from Saddleback College, down in Mission Viejo in my district, we have its president, Dr. Elliot Stern. So come on up, everyone. As a former trustee, I do know the essential role that community colleges play in serving both our students and the county's civic and economic interests. Community colleges represent an accessible path for many, providing educational opportunities for students who wish to transfer to a four-year institution, and career education for students pursuing career technical training. Here in Orange County, the South Orange County Community College District's Irvine Valley College and Saddleback College bring higher education within students' reach with open admissions, low enrollment fees, financial assistance for low-income students, academic and career guidance, outstanding teaching from experienced faculty, specialized support services for students, and they promote lifelong learning with post-career courses for seniors in our community through the Emeritus Institutes on both campuses. The same absolutely can be said for the Rancho San Diego Community College District, from which we have trustee Hernandez representing them. That's San Diego Community College and Santa Ana Community College right here in Santa Ana. The work they do is outstanding. The work they do is life-changing. We are celebrating the success of those community college districts and all community college districts here in Orange County this month during Community College Awareness Month. We thank them for their service through learning to our local community. Would any of my colleagues like to say a few words? And I really don't discourage it. Come on in, Supervisor Chafee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I simply can't resist. My father was born in Garden Grove, my mother in Anaheim, and they met and fell in love at Fullerton Community College. So my very being was established there. Thanks to the encouragement of professors there, they both went on to UC Berkeley, my mother getting a degree in sociology, who later went over to the county some 80-plus years ago. My father then pursued law and was a law review editor and eventually became a United States law clerk, Supreme Court law clerk. So the success of what they achieved started at a community college. And it was the care and concern of the professors there. It's more than just academics. It's the professors who really care about you, give you career guidance, and help you go forward that matters. And they found that in a community college. So again, I thank my very being for that community college, and it's a great thing to start out at. Thank you.
Good morning. In the fabulous 5th District that I am privileged to represent, we have two great community colleges, Irvine and Orange Coast College. And I have a personal story, so we know how important our community colleges are. Well, for my life, I actually met my husband, the love of my life, at a community college. I was taking courses, and he was taking courses there, and we've been together ever since. Now our youngest son attends Orange Coast College, and it's so important, the work that they are doing. It is really wonderful programs for transfer students, but also for lifelong learning. They have all kinds of veteran programs at our community colleges, and really many of our community colleges here in Orange County are like universities, and so they are definitely above the rest. And so we congratulate you and thank you for all you do.
I will be brief. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for bringing this forward. I just want to say that not everybody is a four-year college student, right? There need to be many paths, and I think the community college serves it well. I'm just grateful to all the work that these boards do, but I do want to give a little shout out to Gloria Crockett, who's a director of Make-A-Wish that we just honored. Her husband is also on the Rancho Santiago Community College Board at Santa Ana College, and they are a powerful couple, David Crockett. So thank you to both of you for everything that you do. Thanks.
All right, so the very being of Supervisor Chafee and Supervisor Foley's son is not really one of the things the community colleges tout, but I guess it is a fringe benefit if you go to the community colleges. Those things happen. But a lot of great stuff also happens. Well, that's great too. A lot of other great stuff also happens at the community colleges, and here to talk a little bit about it is my successor on the South Orange County Community College District Board, its president, Trustee Tim Jamal.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Wagner. Thank you to the Board of Supervisors for this recognition today. I think what more can be said? I am the board president for the South Orange County Community College District. We have two colleges, Irvine Valley College, Saddleback College, and a third campus in Tustin called the Advanced Technology and Education Park. We have over 400 degree and certificate programs. Saddleback College, we're very proud, the #2 nursing school in the nation. Irvine Valley College, the #1 transfer rate in the state of California. I think every day when you go out throughout Orange County, you're going to meet someone who's a community college grad. Sometimes it's a second chance. Sometimes it's additional skill. A lot of times it's a transfer to Fullerton or Chapman or UCI or Berkeley or UCLA, all over the country, all over the state. We're so proud of what we do, and we're so proud of the work of an education we provide to our students. Thank you for this recognition. Sometimes community colleges get a little unnoticed, but we are thankful for this recognition today, and thank you to the Board of Supervisors for this certificate or proclamation we're about to receive. Thank you.
Let's head over there for a picture, shall we? As they go over there, a sincere thank you on behalf of the entire board. We have a proclamation. A thank you to faculty, staff, administration, the trustees, an unsung hero of education. Thank you all. National Financial Literacy Month is next. I would like to invite up our county treasurer, tax collector, Sherry Friedenrich. I'm sure she prefers to be known just as the treasurer rather than the tax collector. Nevertheless, she does great work in both roles and is here to help us because April is recognized as National Financial Literacy Month to highlight the value of high-quality financial education to improving Americans' financial capability. The goal is to raise awareness and educate the public on ways to become more financially aware, independent, and free from burdensome debt. This month, financial institutions, nonprofits, and human service agencies will increase their focus on the importance of financial literacy through events, programs, counseling. Skyrocketing inflation in the post-pandemic era has led to dramatic increases in the cost of living and interest rates, making it vitally important for consumers, prospective homeowners, small business owners, to have a better understanding of the costs associated with leasing, with financing, and shopping for loans. The Board of Supervisors is proud to declare this month of April as National Financial Literacy Month and encourage residents to check out the Federal Trade Commission's free booklet, which offers helpful information on consumer protection. Resources on financial literacy are also provided by the Office of the Treasurer Tax Collector and County Services Center staff. And online, we urge you to check it out at octreasurer.com/financial tips, all one word. Any of my colleagues like to say a few words? And if not, ladies and gentlemen, our Treasurer Tax Collector, Sherry Friedenrich.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Chair Wagner and Honorable Board, for recognizing the importance of financial literacy and doing the proclamation today for National Financial Literacy Month. We have produced a flyer that will be available over at the County Service Center with some tips and resources to help each of you manage your funds more wisely. The county service staff, on behalf of the CEO, will be handing those out, and we also send a financial tip of the week out. I do want to highlight just the 5 principles for managing and growing your money. First is earning. Make sure you understand your pay and benefits. Save and invest. It's never too early to start saving for future goals, even in small amounts. Protect, making sure that you're taking precaution and have some emergency savings. Spending, making sure that you're getting good value by shopping around. And borrowing does build credit, but interest is expensive, especially today. And if you borrow too much, you could have a large debt to repay. So keeping these building blocks in mind as you make your day-to-day decisions and plan your financial goals is key. Thank you again to Honorable Chair Wagner and the board for recognizing and assisting our residents with educating them on financial resources this National Financial Literacy Month.
octreasurer.com/financial tips. All right. Up next, I would like to turn the podium over to Supervisor Chafee for National Arab American Heritage Month. Supervisor Chafee, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Orange County Board of Supervisors hereby declares the month of April, which is almost over, 2023, to be National Arab American Heritage Month. And we commend Arab Americans for their significant contribution to the success of California and, of course, to our own county of Orange. Arab Americans have shared their rich culture and traditions while setting examples of model citizens and public servants. For over a century, Arab Americans have made valuable contributions to every aspect of American society, such as in medicine, law, business, and education. Arab Americans have also enriched our society by sharing in their entrepreneurial American spirit that makes our nation free and prosperous. Arab Americans join all Americans in the desire to see a peaceful and diverse society where every individual is treated equally and feels safe. California is home to an area known as Little Arabia in the city of Anaheim, which is a cultural and business destination for Arab Americans and all Americans from diverse backgrounds. Now, would any of our colleagues care to join? Okay. Then it's my pleasure to ask the founder and executive director, Rashad El-Daba, for the Arab American Civic Council come up and accept the resolution and say a few words if he wishes.
Good morning. Thank you, Board of Supervisors and Supervisor Chafee, for the proclamation to recognize Arab American Heritage Month once again. My name is Rashad Al-Dabag. I'm the Executive Director of the Arab American Civic Council, and we appreciate the proclamation again this year. But this year is extra special because we also got the proclamation from President Biden, not only here in Orange County, but we're celebrating it nationally, nationwide, altogether. So we really appreciate that. Orange County is home to thousands of Arab Americans, and it's home to Little Arabia, the only such designated area in the country. So this year in Arab American Heritage Month, I encourage you all to, number one, visit Little Arabia, try the food out there, it's great stuff, support the small businesses out there. Second, support this community and attend an Arab American Heritage Month event. There's an event happening this Sunday, April 30th at the Placentia Performing Arts Center by the Palestine Foundation, an Arab American Heritage Month event celebration. And then finally, to make this meaningful, let's make sure that we create the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs with the amendments. So thank you so much for the proclamation. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you all. And we are going to conclude the proclamation portion of today's festivities with a very important proclamation brought forward by Supervisor Foley. I will turn the podium over to her to make the presentation. Supervisor Foley?
Good morning. April is also, unfortunately, Sexual Assault Awareness Month and Sexual Assault Prevention Month. And at this time, I would like to invite our district attorney and his team to come up, as well as our team. Sexual assault impacts everyone, and it can happen anywhere. This month represents an important time to speak out against sexual assault. And our team is wearing denim today. No, I'm not dressed like this because it's casual day. But denim and teal are the colors to raise awareness about sexual assault and sexual assault prevention. When I first joined the board, Orange County had thousands of backlogged rape kits dating back to the 1990s. And 1 year later, I'm really pleased to report, due to the significant efforts of our county staff and our district attorney's office, we have cleared these kits to bring justice to sexual assault victims. Under my watch, we will never have a backlog dating back decades for justice for sexual assault victims. I remain committed to standing with the survivors and their loved ones. And so if you all could help us to spread the word, talk to your kids, especially your young daughters, and make sure that they know that any assault is unacceptable. The campaign to wear denim, just so you all know, began after a ruling by the Italian Supreme Court, where a rape conviction was overturned because the justices felt that since the victim was wearing tight jeans, she must have helped the person who raped her remove her jeans, thereby implying consent. The following day, the women in the Italian parliament came to work wearing jeans in solidarity with the victims. Peace Over Violence developed the Denim Day campaign in response to this case and activism surrounding it. Now, 24 years later, millions around the world take part in this campaign, and it's actually tomorrow, but since we don't have a board meeting tomorrow, we're wearing denim today to raise awareness and encourage you all to wear denim to work tomorrow. We also have teal is the color for sexual violence prevention. So proclaiming this month as Sexual Assault and Prevention Month will help us raise awareness and bring attention to this issue. At this time, I'd like to invite our district attorney or his representative up to share. I was going to invite them after.
Okay, well, let's do the colleagues first, because that's typically how we do it.
Oh, thank you.
Do any of my well, before we turn to any of my colleagues, I do want to say a quick word on this particular item. Though I am not in jeans, this is perhaps the closest to teal I can find in the wardrobe. At the end of the day, it is an important item that has been brought forward as the father of two young professional women. The issue is one that thankfully has not hit close to home for us, but that is out there and is something that we all must be aware of. That is, in fact, one of the reasons that I brought the item with respect to clearing the backlog of the rape kits. And I want to thank Supervisor Foley and the rest of the board for their support on that particular item. The DA's office, Sheriff's Department have done great work in keeping not only awareness on the issue of sexual violence, but also in trying to bring closure to victims. That's why it is so important that we do ourselves out in the community keep a focus on this particular item. And so do any of my colleagues have anything to add before we turn to the district attorney? All right, ladies and gentlemen, the district attorney of Orange County, Todd Spitzer.
Thank you very much. This means a lot, not only for the victims and the survivors who have to deal with sexual assault, but the law enforcement individuals and prosecutors who deal with this kind of crime every day can be overwhelming. Our sexual assault unit has the most experienced prosecutors because we have to examine evidence and deal with the trauma of the victims. And over time, that can be devastating for those individuals who have to deal with this evidence every single day. This board has been phenomenal in its support of taking care of the rape kit backlog. And I'm very, very proud of the board's support and everybody who's involved in that to make sure that we took care of that. Because as the chairman said and Supervisor Foley has indicated and all the board members have said repeatedly, we needed to do everything we could to clear the backlog so we could see if there were any unresolved cases that needed to be brought to court. When I was in the legislature, we extended the statute of limitations for sexual assault victims to over 21 years because sometimes it takes decades for a victim to come forward in order to indicate and to resolve and to be frank with law enforcement about that kind of activity in their lives. And the legislature has recognized that the statute of limitations for that crime, typically it's 3 or 5 years in most cases, but that is decades because of the acknowledgement. And to women in society in general, I want to thank you as a district attorney because you have stood together in solidarity to give strength and resolve to other women to come forward. A very high NBC executive just resigned in the last few days. This is going on in our society and has been perpetrated through silence for way too long. And so the fact that we have that movement and that movement needs to continue is something very, very important to all of us. We are all better when women stand up and stand together to help other women come forward. And let me also say this. It's not just women who are victims of sexual assault. It is also men who are also sexually assaulted, and we protect them as well. And it is children. And to the people at CAST, and Supervisor Doe and Vice Chairman Doe knows very well because he was in the office and understand and prosecuted these cases. Our children are examined at our Orangewood facility where we have our CAST experts, and they examine these children, and we have these interviews, and they have to explain things that have happened to them that are not within their experience. And it's not only overwhelming for their children, for those children, it's overwhelming for their parents, the guilt, and again, for the people who have to prosecute these cases. And my job is to make sure, and this board understands, that I rotate those prosecutors through those assignments so I can give them the ability to get their head back together after they see the most evil, the most despicable, and the most demonic behavior by human beings against other human beings. It is the absolute demeaning of human existence to sexually assault another human being, and especially a child. So on behalf of the District Attorney's Office, this means so much to us because it exemplifies the commitment of this board, this county, all the employees of this county, healthcare, social services, and the like. And it reminds my prosecutors and our law enforcement community that we're doing good, that we're doing the right thing, and that we need to stay vigorous in our prosecution of evil. So thank you very much.
Over for a picture. Thank you all. We will be back at 10 minutes to 10 to start the business portion of the day's agenda.
The meeting of the County of Orange Board of Supervisors will begin shortly. If you would like to address the Board of Supervisors, please follow these steps. Complete a speaker request form. Deposit your completed form in the box adjacent to the speaker podium. Public comments can also be submitted electronically via email at response@ocgov.com. meeting of the County of Orange Board of Supervisors will begin shortly. If you would like to address the Board of Supervisors, please follow these steps. Complete a speaker request form. Deposit your completed form in the box adjacent to the speaker podium. Public comments can also be submitted electronically via email at response@ocgov.com.
All right, if we could come to order, please. I've got everybody back, so we're going to get started. Go ahead and cue. Now, I don't hear it. There we go. All right. I'm waiting for a picture.
Yes, ma'am. I don't have a picture. Yeah. No? Yeah. I would like feed, yes. Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, welcome back. We are here for the April 25 business portion of the Board of Supervisors agenda. And I will begin the meeting, as always, with an invocation to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Supervisor Sarmiento will lead us in the invocation and Supervisor Chafee in the pledge. If you are willing and able, please join us by rising.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'd like to invite Pastor Tommy Cota to join us and lead us in the invocation, words of inspiration. He leads the Hope Alive Church, does a lot of work with at-risk youth and families, has primarily done it in Santa Ana, has a church on Bristol. So thank you, Pastor Tommy. I know you've addressed us many times. Please lead us with your words of inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you all for just inviting me to be a part of this moment. Will we pray? God, we thank you for this moment and for this opportunity. And Lord, we welcome your presence, and we ask that you would give divine wisdom to every single person that is here that has to make a decision regarding any situation that our communities in this county is faced with. And we thank you, God, that as we ask in faith that you are a God who gives, and you give generously. And so, God, we ask for great wisdom. And we're so grateful and thankful for this wonderful county of Orange. God, we pray your protection and your guidance and your leading of your spirit in all of these matters that are before this board here today. And so, God, would you be glorified and honored? And again, we ask for great wisdom, a sense of humility and understanding and divine insight to all these matters. And we ask all of these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Please join me in pledging allegiance to the flag of our nation. Please remember the importance of liberty and justice for all. Please begin. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, with liberty and justice.
Thank you, Supervisors Sarmiento and Chafee. A couple of housekeeping reminders. Please use the main entrance when entering and leaving the chambers. All other doors are alarmed and for emergency exit only. Please set all phones to mute or vibrate at this time and for the duration of the meeting. A listing of changes to today's agenda, along with agendas and requests to speak, are located in the lobby outside the chamber room. The board will be breaking for lunch around the noon hour, during which time we will also recess to close session. We'll now proceed to the agenda for this morning's meeting. The agenda contains a brief description of items to be considered. Except as otherwise provided by law, no action may be taken on any item not appearing in today's agenda. The agenda is divided into sections. All matters on the consent calendar are approved by one motion unless a board member requests separate action on a specific item. Any member of the public may also ask the board to be heard on any item on the consent calendar. If you wish to address the board, please complete a speaker request form located in the lobby outside the boardroom. Complete forms must be deposited in the box next to the podium. To ensure the smooth conduct of the meeting, speaker request forms must be turned in prior to the beginning of the consent calendar, the reading of the individual item, or the beginning of public comments. Speakers may address the board up to 3 occasions. With Madam Speaker, how many requests do we have?
We have received 119.
All right, 119. And so we will allow a minute and a half for each of those speakers. When you're called to speak, please step to the podium. We request that you state your name and city of residence for the record. Please note the lights on the podium. The green light means you have the minute and a half. The light changes to yellow when you have 30 seconds, and the light turns red when your time has expired. We ask that you observe the time limit so that all who wish to speak will have an opportunity to do so. When addressing the board, please address the board as a whole through the chair. Members of the public who are not able to attend in person may see an internet broadcast of the board meeting, may listen to the live meeting by calling 866-590-5055, access code 413-8489, and may send comments to upcoming board meetings by emailing response@ocgov.com. Comments submitted before the start of the board meeting will be part of the public record and distributed to the board members for their consideration. With that, I ask the clerk to identify any changes to the agenda and any requests received from the public to pull an item from the consent calendar. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On the consent calendar, item 5 has been continued to May 9th, 2023, 9:30 a.m. And on the discussion calendar, items 12, 17, 18, and 22 have all been continued to May 9th, 2023, 9:30 a.m. And the public has not requested to pull any items from the consent calendar.
12, 17, 18, and 22?
Mm-hmm.
All right, very good. At this point, let me start with a little more housekeeping. We'll do the consent calendar. We will advance the food insecurity item and hopefully be able to dispense with that quickly. And then it's the next two items I intend to advance that have the most speakers. And so we'll hear from the speakers with respect to the Office of Immigration and with respect to the ROV and hear from Mr. Page. Then we'll get to the rest of the calendar. So we'll start with the consent calendar. At this time, I'd like to inquire of my colleagues any items to pull.
No.
Seeing none, I'll accept a motion.
Move the consent calendar.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Further discussion. Seeing none, any opposition or abstentions, the consent calendar passes unanimously minus the pulled item. All right, and so as I mentioned, we will advance the item. Madam Clerk, if you would read, and I'll tell you in a moment which one.
43C.
Supplemental 42D, please. No,
43C.
No. My apologies. C. 42C, please.
43C.
Let me find the most recent agenda. Apologies here. Yes. Supplemental, thank you. I've got the right agenda. I was working from an old one. My apologies. Supplemental 43C. Now, Madam Clerk, read.
Under Chairman Wagner, authorize and direct County Executive Officer or designee to negotiate and enter into agreements allocating up to $3 million of fiscal year 2022-23 American Rescue Act plan funds to OC Hunger Alliance organizations and make related findings per Government Code Section 26227. And Mr. Chairman, just confirm, I haven't gotten last-minute requests. We have not received any requests to speak on S43C.
All right, very good. This is my item. I want to thank my colleagues for indulging me and considering it. We are hearing about the food cliff. We have been seeing through the pandemic issues of food insecurity, and those have not gone away with the easing of COVID restrictions, et cetera. Our food banks are strapped. They have come to us looking for a little bit of additional help. And this is money that goes right into the community for food that can go right into our families. I urge and I vote. I will move the item. Any request to speak, or I'll entertain a second.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Seeing no further discussion, any opposition or abstentions? Matter carries unanimously. We have a couple of representatives from the food agencies in the audience. Gentlemen, thank you. Ladies, thank you for bringing this to our attention. Good luck to you. All right, we are going now to agenda item 42. Thank you. There it is. agenda item 42, and let me first have the clerk read, and then we'll take speakers.
Under Supervisor Doe and Supervisor Chafee, direct County Executive Office to establish an Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs within County of Orange that will serve as a central hub for coordination of services, resources, and advocacy efforts to support Orange County's immigrant and refugee populations in accordance with requirements of state and federal law. And Mr. Chairman, we have received 53 requests to speak on agenda item 42.
All right, if you would call the first three speakers, please.
Mahesh Falaudi, Alaya Yosafi, Basha Jamil.
All right, if you would line up behind the podium, we will get to you in just a moment. Real quick, this looks like an easy yes. Don't talk us out of it for any of the 50-some speakers. And I do want to give my colleagues an opportunity to tee this up. And so Supervisor Doe and then Supervisor Chafee, if you'd like to tee this item up, or however you two gentlemen want to handle it.
Well, I think we should hear from the public, and their suggestions may be relevant.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Supervisor Doe.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for this opportunity. I want to take this occasion to maybe create some context as to the item that we are considering. Perhaps some of the speakers may see the intent behind this item and will maybe influence the comments they will make. Let me start first by saying that it's rare for someone to sit up here and actually have gone through a refugee and then immigrant experience in America, and to be in a position of being a decision maker. So the comments I'm making are from personal experience. But it's not exclusively personal, because Orange County, as prosperous and as populous as it is, we are the 6th largest county in the U.S., one of the most prosperous. Economically, we are as strong as some mid-sized countries in the world. And yet, 30% of our residents in Orange County are foreign-born. 30%. And 1/5 of those 30% actually have been living here in Orange County for less than 10 years. And as you look at the dais outside of myself, you also have our CEO, born in South Korea. You have our county council, Mr. Leon Page, born in Ireland. Now, why do I bring that up? Is that immigrants aren't always who we expect them to look like, right? There isn't a stereotype, a profile that would signify someone is an immigrant. We never know who among us is an immigrant or a refugee. But what I have found from personal experience and observation is this, and me included. When I first came here, I lived in Alabama. I wasn't always an Orange County resident. And I found that immigrants who assimilated more quickly become more economically successful. They earn higher incomes, and they become more integrated and more active in their local communities, which is why I am here as an elected official, to represent us, to speak for the American ideals that created the opportunities for just not me, but millions of immigrants who come here, and collectively we are America. So let's not forget that not every service that is geared to help immigrants is some kind of handout that is encouraging illegal activities and defiance of our law. I don't stand for that. There are thousands and thousands of Vietnamese refugees over the last 40 years who, after they survived the ordeals in open sea to try to find freedom, to flee communism, had to spend months and sometimes years in refugee camps in other countries in order to be processed to become Americans. Some have died while they waited through that process. I am the last person that's going to look at the sacrifices of those immigrants and say, guess what? You suffer, it's okay. I'm going to encourage other people to defy the law and come here against our immigration law. Make sure you understand that because I co-sign on this item doesn't mean what people are portraying this item to be. Now, what is this item for? Outside of the clear-cut definitions of immigrants and refugees that are defined in our federal immigration law, those things most of us are familiar with. But even I'm not familiar with the many different ways that people can be in this country that are visa holders, meaning they have been given the right to be here by our government, but they are neither immigrants nor refugees, right? So this whole idea of services to help people who are here who are not U.S. citizens is a lot more ambiguous, and depending on the definition that you use, you can stir up a lot of misunderstandings. Okay? So I want to make sure that when you make your comments, that do not forget what has been written in the item itself, and I'm going to read verbatim. Okay? That this item goes to the coordination of services and resources and advocacy to support immigrants and refugees as defined by and in accordance with the requirements of state and federal law. Okay? I know there have been people out there going online on TV and saying things about this item. I am reading it to you now. And the provision here is really to help immigrants and visa holders and refugees to comply with the requirements of state and federal law and to help them integrate into our community. Because we know the sooner that happens, the more successful that happens, the more you're going to have examples like me. And I'm going to even go further. My wife is a Superior Court judge. She's the assistant presiding judge for the County of Orange. She is also a Vietnam-born immigrant, also a former refugee. My daughter now worked for the U.S. Office of the Inspector General, giving back to the country that has given us, our family, and many others opportunities. And so this is what the vision of immigrant services that I have. It is not what people portray it to be, which is somehow to encourage lawlessness, and just defiance of our federal law. I'm the last person that will ever support that. Okay, so, Mr. Chair, thank you very much for this opportunity, and I hope that it clears up for many of you what this item is about. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Doe, and apologies for the speaker standing there, but it is your turn. So, minute and a half. Hear from you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good morning, members of the Board of Supervisors. My name is Masif Fuladi. I serve as the Deputy Executive Director for the Council on American Islamic Relations located here in Anaheim. I'm here today to speak in support of Item 42 with a few amendments and additions. We've submitted a letter to the board that has 21 signatories on it from other nonprofits in the county, and I brought copies of those letters as well for your convenience that detail those amendments. I'm an Iranian immigrant whose parents were looking for a safer place at the end of the Iran-Iraq War. I've lived in Orange County for over 25 years. I went to elementary school in Garden Grove, I went to high school in Anaheim, and I got my undergraduate degree from UCI. Like Supervisor Doe mentioned, over a third of the county is immigrants. Over 40% of small business owners within the county are immigrant, and over half the children within the county have one immigrant parent. The reality of any immigrant that lives in Orange County is that at any point they may have to coordinate or collaborate with any department or agency within the county. They might need a business license, they might need a permit to make improvements to their house, they might be building infrastructure within the county, they might need services because from the healthcare agency, from the social service agency, there are so many different needs. And the reality is that without an independent office with a director to lead it that serves all immigrants, we would be doing a disservice to our community. So today we ask that you pass this motion and take into consideration our amendments.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. My name is Alia Yousufi. I am the Senior Policy Coordinator at the Council on American Islamic Relations. I'm also the Outreach Director for the Islamic Center in Yorba Linda and a board member of the nonprofit community building organization Latino Muslim Unity. I'm also a proud daughter of Pakistani immigrants. Thank you, Supervisor Chafee and Vice Chairman Doe, for putting forth this item and for creating an Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. In all my roles, I can tell you unequivocally that this is something that Orange County desperately needs. I want to emphasize that this office must be established as an independent department in order for it to be as effective as possible and for it to be available to growth. Orange County, as my colleague mentioned, is 1/3 immigrant, and we deserve an independent department that supports and celebrates the contributions and experiences that immigrants bring to the county. An independent department gives us the opportunity to receive investment from philanthropic, state, and federal sources. We have seen this happen with the Office of Immigrant Affairs in LA County and SD County. It's a bit of a build it and they will come concept. If we lay the proper foundation to meet the needs of immigrant and refugee communities, the funds, growth, and recognition will follow. My own family has achieved the American dream as my father arrived in the U.S. with $100 in his pocket, but has since established a successful business selling plotters and 3D printers in Anaheim and has over a dozen employees, many of whom who are also immigrants. I look forward to the OIRA being a facilitator, and I urge a yes vote.
The next three speakers will be Manahil Haroon, Dr. Metra Asar, Muhira Atrihun.
Oh,
Mr. Chairman.
A moment, yes.
Did we get the letter? Because I don't have the letter that they were referring to. The letter that they were referring to. Can I get that?
Definitely. Yes.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Basha Jamil, and I am the Policy Manager for the Council on American Islamic Relations. I come here today as the daughter of Pakistani immigrants. My family moved here over 40 years ago, establishing their own businesses where they employ several employees and really contribute to the local economy. I'm here today to really voice my strong and vocal support for the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. As previous speakers said before me, it is desperately needed here in Orange County in order to create a centralized hub for immigration services so that immigrants can really navigate the complex system that we have here. I want to emphasize that not only should it be an independent office, it should also have a director-level county employee that oversees this department. This would really allow the office to be as effective as possible. We know that an office is only as strong as its leadership. So I strongly urge you not only to vote for the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, but to also ensure that a director-level county employee oversees the department. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Manahil Haroon Awan, and I'm here on behalf of the Council on American Islamic Relations Los Angeles chapter to express our support for the creation of Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. I'm a Pakistani-American Muslim woman as well as a DACA recipient. So growing up, it was very difficult for me, just like many immigrants, to access some of the most basic resources, simply due to what and who people considered immigrant. The reality is that immigrants come from every corner of the world to the one place they know that through hard work and dedication, they can achieve their dreams. And just like my family, they can open up businesses and contribute to the economic and cultural prosperity of their localities, just as we've seen throughout Orange County. This is why having a robust and independent Department of Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs is a necessary step in creating more efficiency, funding, and economic opportunities within the county. It is crucial that we support our immigrant communities in Orange County, because if they prosper, then Orange County will prosper. And for these reasons, we're urging the board to pass this motion and establish an Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs for Orange County. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The next three speakers will be Kuseya Alfredi, Fasil Munir, Sophia Sobran.
Good morning, supervisors. Thank you for having us here today. My name is Mitra Azar Salem, and I come as the Executive Director of Afghan Refugee Relief. This nonprofit came into formation because of the necessity and gap we felt in Orange County. As thousands of Afghan immigrants and refugees fled in a very traumatic experience of theirs, we Afghan Americans got together to provide them the services that we are looking forward to having through this office that is on the proposal today. We would like for the supervisors to vote and make this a streamlined process so refugees coming into this country experience a more positive outcome coming from the mental health field. The trauma that they experience on getting here should not expand while they are here in their first few years that they live in the United States. Orange County is robust in immigrants. I am the daughter of immigrants and alumni of UCI, and look forward to serving both our refugee communities in all aspects through this new office. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Kutsia Frady, and I live in the city of Irvine in Orange County. I'm a first-generation Afghan American, and I have witnessed the struggles of my parents who immigrated to the U.S. in 1988. See, the thing is, even though I am of Afghan descent, it's not only my people who have struggled to be here. All around me growing up, I've only seen struggles of immigrants and refugees with little to no help in the cities we live in. Currently, there is no coordinated department that addresses the needs and opportunities created by the immigrant and refugee community. This creates an obstacle for immigrants and refugees when navigating their basic needs. It also leaves the county without a lead representative to stimulate the funding and investment from philanthropy, corporations, state, and federal funding resources. This office can make a huge difference in easing the burden that these families carry and ensure that the county continues to build a business infrastructure to set them on the path to achieving the American dream. I urge the Board of Supervisors to vote yes on the creation of Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs and to include instructions for the County Executive Office to ensure that the office is 1, independent, 2, led by a director level higher that has community support, and 3, serves the diversity of the immigrant and refugee community within Orange County. Thank you.
All right, good morning. My name is Sophia Sobron. I am an Immigration Rights Program Manager at the Council on American Islamic Relations, California, representing a significant portion of the immigrant and refugee communities here in Orange County. It is here today that I come to express my support for a robust and independent office for the Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, which is a necessary step in creating more efficiency, funding, and economic opportunities within this county. Putting this particular office within another department will greatly hinder its ability to address the continually evolving needs of our immigrant and refugee communities. I have spent my career over 9 years working with some of the most overlooked immigrant communities in our region, learning from their resettlement experiences, shared intergenerational histories, and advocating for greater equity and access. Many here today are representing this diverse tapestry of immigrant communities in OC, and while we come from different organizations, together we represent an important voice in your district. The creating of this department gives us the opportunity to live up to our values and ensure a welcoming and stable transition for families in need, for coordinated and wraparound services, and set them on the path to achieving their American dream. For many decades, agencies like ours have been engaged in this critical humanitarian service of improving social and economic and legal rights of these communities. Again, it is with the greatest urgency that I urge you to vote yes on the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs and this amended offer as well.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
The next 3 speakers are Amina Fields, Abdullah Zakaria, Ahmed Zareh.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Fazil Munir. I'm a staff attorney in the Immigration Rights Department of CARE LA. I work with many immigrants in my line of work, particularly Afghan parolees. Immigrants are an integral part of our communities and an essential part of the culture within Orange County. A robust and independent department of the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs is a necessary step in creating more efficiency, funding, and economic opportunities within the county. The creation of this, however, it is important that the OIRA be independent and autonomous. Putting the OIRA within another department, such as social services, will hinder its ability to address the needs of immigrants. An independent OIRA will allow for maximum collaboration and coordination with cities, state, and federal agencies which provide immigrant and refugee support services, as well as partnering with community organizations to increase access to resources. Finally, the office must be inclusive of all races and ethnicities, including the Latino, AAPI, Middle Eastern, South Asian, and African communities, as Orange County is one of the most diverse counties in the country and its residents hail from at least 150 different nations. The OIRA must be explicit in its support for all races and ethnicities. Therefore, I urge the Board of Supervisors to vote yes on the creation of this office and ensure that it is independent and serves the diversity of immigrant and refugee communities within Orange County.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, please.
Hello, how are you doing? My name is Abdullah Zakaria. I'm a resident here of Orange County. I'm the Southern California area manager for an organization called ICNA Relief. We serve underprivileged individuals of all backgrounds and races and cultures. And in the past 3 years, we've served or impacted the lives of 211,513 individuals, 77% who are located in Orange County, and 73% who are coming from countries outside of the United States. So we feel that it's very important that this department gets passed with all of its amendments. And if we feel that a lot of these immigrants who coming from these countries come educated, they're doctors and they're engineers, and they are going to be part of this community into improving it and making it stronger for a better tomorrow. So we hope that you do pass this proposition. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Honorable Chair and Supervisors. My name is Ahmad Zahar. I'm council member from the great city of Fullerton. As a Syrian immigrant, I am grateful to see our supervisors take this step. I first came to this country in 1996, but I knew nothing about this system. And it was difficult to navigate housing, healthcare, education, and job opportunities, something that led me to sleeping in my car. What I knew about America was mainly from watching American movies, and boy, was it different. Today, I'm proud to stand here as an elected member of the Fulton City Council, representing an increasingly diverse community with thousands of immigrant families from all backgrounds. The struggles of settling in a new environment are very unique and still very much similar to my experience. I see this daily on the local level. An independent Department of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs would be an investment in our county's talent and human resources, and especially that our local municipalities can't manage this alone. So on behalf of our residents, I thank you for what would be an historic step forward for our county. Thank you.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Amina Fields, and I'm a resident of Cypress. I am a managing immigrant rights attorney at CARE. CARE offers legal immigration services to people in Orange County. I'm also on the board of Boat People SOS. Boat BPSOS is a nonprofit that was established by Vietnamese boat people that came to the U.S. as refugees. I am also on the board of Fullerton Muslim Community Center, and that organization's origin started from the Cham refugee community in the 70s and 80s. I'm here today to voice my support for the creation of an independent office, Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, here in Orange County. Aside from my connection to the immigrant and refugee community through my work, I have a personal connection because my family came to the U.S. as refugees from Vietnam. I am Vietnamese and Cham, and my family and I, as a young child, left Vietnam on a boat, went to a refugee camp, and then settled in Orange County in the 1980s. I was among the boat people. Now I am a U.S. citizen. I have been a proud member of the Orange County community since then, although I had a gap in my residency when I joined the military as active duty in the Air Force. Because my family came to the U.S. as refugees, I personally know the hardships leaving your home country and starting a new life in a foreign country. When my family arrived, nonprofit organization and the Cham community supported my family. The support I received helped me and my family allow us to build a new life in the U.S., and this office would help people like me.
Thank you. If you could wrap
Thanks.
up, please. Thank you.
The next three speakers are Mervet Judah, Luke Van Lant, and Ghazali Salim.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Ahmed Nourzeh. I'm a resident of Mission Viejo, California. I'm also an Afghan refugee from the 80s. We walked for 4 days and nights through battlefields and landmine fields to get to Pakistan. 9 months we lived there as a refugee, eventually came to the United States. I went to school as a 9th grader, went on to get my master's, and currently I serve as the executive director of the Afghan American Muslim Outreach, or AMU for short. We're an organization dedicated to serving the Afghan American Muslim community through social services, fostering an Afghan American Muslim identity, supporting and mentoring the new Afghan refugees to become self-reliant, and empower future generations to pursue higher education and enhance their skills by providing them with necessary tools and skills. AMU, as an organization, is predominantly serving or primarily serving the Afghan community in Orange County. Since immigrants are an integral part of our community, AMU is focusing on speeding up the self-sufficiency process for Afghan immigrants and refugees so that they become productive members of our society. Many Afghan refugees worked with NATO countries in Afghanistan. They have the language capability, they have the work experience, and they have the knowledge and a strong desire to get to work and support and provide for their families. Having said that, a robust and independent Department of Office of the Immigrant and Refugee Affairs is a necessary step in creating more...
If you could wrap up, please.
I'm sorry?
If you could wrap up, please.
Okay. So really quickly, we have 3 asks. One is an independent office.
We've got those. Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, members of the board and supervisors. My name is Luke Van Lant. I'm Financial Capability Coordinator at IRC in Los Angeles, a refugee resettlement org that serves the Orange County area as well. We're also an immigration service provider and CDFI lender. The creation of an Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs in Orange County, we believe will promote economic empowerment and flourishing for refugees, asylum seekers, asylees, humanitarian parolees, and immigrants of all statuses. As Ahmed mentioned, that includes, increased self-sufficiency, economic flourishing, business creation, access to traditional financial services, as well as just navigating the complex web of systems here in the U.S., the good, the bad, and the ugly of those systems. This office needs to be agile in order to deal with the war, economic, or constitutional crises that create an influx of refugees, as we saw in 2021 with many arrivals from Afghanistan. And for this reason especially, we urge that the office be independent in order to be as maneuverable as possible in responding to these crises. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
The next 3 speakers are Habeb Tu, Dr. Azeen Syed, and this looks like Zuleika Abadi.
Come. Have you been called? Yeah, come forward.
I apologize.
No.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. My name is Mervet Judah. I'm going to lift this up a little bit. Okay. I'm a resident here of Orange County, and my parents are both immigrants from Palestine. And it's not very easy to come to this country with no way of guidance. And my parents sort of I think at 6, 7, or 8 years old, I was already able to read contracts and stuff because I was able to pick up English faster than my parents. So I'm here in support of the Independent Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs here in Orange County, because we are flooded with refugees, all types, right? Latino refugees, Arab refugees from all around the world. And I think it's about time that we finally have an office that actually can effectively help refugees deal with the changes and assimilate them in a positive manner. It would have to be an independent office and one that is open to all. Latinos, Asians, Africans, from any country around the world. There's nothing more to say other than that we are a country of immigrants. The United States is the United States, and what makes it great is the fact that we're a country of immigrants, of diversity. And I think empowering people and facilitating it for them to succeed in this country, whether it's academically, business-wise, or just socially, just being part of the fabric of the United States of America would be great. So I implore you to support, as a Muslim American, as an Arab American, as a proud American, and a resident of Orange County, I implore you to support.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and the Board of Supervisors. My name is Sean Tu. I currently reside in Irvine. I'm here to voice my support for the creation of the Independent Office of Immigrants and Refugee Affairs in Orange County. I migrated to the U.S. as a refugee in 1981 and have been a proud member of Orange County communities over 30 years. As you know, refugees and immigrants fled from their countries against their will. We escaped from the war-torn country in Southeast Asia, from the killing field in Cambodia, from the genocide in Rwanda and war in Iraq, and most recently, the fall of Kabul in Afghanistan. Every year, Orange County receives hundreds of refugees and immigrants, and the process has not been easy. The refugee and immigrant who escape out of the country not only traumatized in their own countries, but they are facing an uphill battle of raising their family in the new land. That's why the creation of this office makes sense. It streamlines the process in integrating the refugee and immigrants into our society in the best and beautiful way. So it's a win-win situation for everyone. I urge the Board of Supervisors to vote yes on the creation of this office to serve the needs of various ethnicities within Orange County. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Supervisors. My name is Azim Sayed, and I'm a resident of Placentia. I also serve as a board member of the Islamic Shura Council of Southern California, a consortium of over 75 organizations representing the faith and service communities. I thank you for your time and thank the community for showing up to voice their support for this very important initiative. As an immigrant myself and as a family that immigrated for the various reasons that were stated, whether war or finding better security and prosperity, I think this is a very common resonating theme with all of us, that this office be established as an independent, autonomous entity with a director type of level and role, and then this can actually tap into many resources that the office can come by from various philanthropic and economic avenues. I just want to end on a note of history with FDR saying that remember always that all of us, that you and I especially, are descended from immigrants. Immigrants have defined how this country was in the past. They continue to define it today and will so in the future. I vote you all to please vote yes and keep defining our role in the present. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next three speakers, I'm going to spell the last names because it's difficult to read the writing. The last name is Rafiq. The next one is Dadeb, looks like Hoy. And the first name is Rashad, and the last name is Aldebgh. And one additional speaker is Nala Kaylee.
Good morning. My name is Zulaikha Ibadi, and I'm a resident of Mission Viejo. I'm a board member with Afghan Refugee Relief, and where we have helped refugees and immigrants from Afghanistan, Ukraine, Syria, and many more countries. As an intake specialist, I'm the first person the refugees contact, and I can tell you from personal experience as a refugee child myself, and through their own words, that these families are lost, scared, and confused. I have had to help make 911 calls for a 4-year-old child who was out of his epilepsy medication for 40 days and was seizing 5 to 7 times a day. We help families obtain Social Security cards, work authorization, school enrollment, and so much more. Last week, we helped to reunify a baby with his parents after weeks of advocacy to federal agencies and overseas stations. Oftentimes, these families are visa holders who are here because of their sacrifice helping the U.S. forces in Afghanistan. Yet our organization had to navigate how to help them on our own. While the amazing OC community and community organizations have stepped up to fill the gaps, I firmly believe that creating an office that focuses on these issues would help our new neighbors tremendously. We strongly urge you to please pass this motion.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Moshkan Rafiq, and I'm a resident of Orange. I'm here today to voice my support for the creation of an independent office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs here in Orange County. My family and I immigrated to the United States from India and have been a proud member of Orange County for the past 12 years. I attained my bachelor's here at UC Irvine and have been working in Orange County for the past 10 years. I'm also a volunteer and board member for Afghan Refugee Relief, which is a proud grassroots community nonprofit organization focused on resettling refugees, asylum seekers, and humanitarian parolees in Southern California. We're at the forefront of direct action, interfacing daily with the several thousands refugees who have landed in Southern California. We have thus far supported over 2,100 families, which translates to about 10,000 refugees. An Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs is good for Orange County because it builds capacity to increase coordination and partnership amongst county departments and local organizations serving the immigrant and refugee community. It acts as a service navigator hub for immigrant and refugee communities by directing them to legal services, establishing their immigration status, coordinating with other county departments, connecting them to social services, highlighting job opportunities, and so much more. This is why I urge you to vote yes on creating an independent Office of Immigrant Refugee Affairs run by a director.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wrap up. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Rashad Aldabar, and I'm the Executive Director of the Arab American Civic Council. I'm also a resident of Tustin. The Arab American Civic Council builds community power through civic participation. As someone who led the effort to formally designate Little Arabia in Anaheim, I've worked with close to 100 business owners in the area. The vast majority of those business owners were immigrants who came with very little to start a better life and went through a difficult path, but helped create a thriving business and cultural destination. I'm an immigrant myself. I'm the son of Palestinian refugees and a descendant of survivors of the Armenian genocide. I grew up in Saudi Arabia and came to America for a better education and better life. As an immigrant, I believe that the creation of this new department gives us the opportunity to live up to our values and ensure a welcoming and stable transition for families as they begin their lives here. I urge you to vote yes on the creation of the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs with the amendment offered. Thank you.
The next three speakers will be Jackie Mentor, Sajeda Sultani, and Monica Glicken.
Good morning, Honorable Chair, Board of Supervisors. My name is Nahla Kayali. I'm the founder and executive director of Access California Services, a nonprofit community-based organization in Anaheim, providing wraparound health and human services to immigrants and refugees since 1998. And we're the only organization providing services to refugees through social service agency here in Orange County for RCA. And I chair the Refugee Forum here in Orange County. We have been a culturally and linguistically sensitive trusted messenger and a hub for services. I am in full support of establishing the Office of Immigrants and Refugee Affairs in Orange County. While we are definitely blessed with a wide range of grassroots organizations doing on-the-ground direct services to help this population acculturate, we do need a central institution that can connect nonprofits, federal, state, and city entities so we can work together and sit on the same table to develop, implement, and best practices that will enhance the resettlement experience of immigrants and refugees and create a sense of welcoming and belonging. Such an office is crucial to help build this need, a partnership, to help ensure we are advocating and we are providing best possible resources of these populations in Orange County.
Thank you.
I'm a resident in Fountain Valley for 40 years, and I was a child of
please.
refugees.
Thank you very much. Next
Thank
speaker,
you.
please.
Good morning. My name is Jackie Mentor, and I'm the Executive Director of the Orange County Jewish Coalition for Refugees. I personally have worked in refugee camps in Europe and have firsthand witnessed the many traumas that refugees experience. Since 2021 and the arrival of over 80,000 Afghans to the United States, OCJCR has been providing comprehensive wraparound resettlement services to Afghans in Orange County. And since the launch of the Uniting for Ukraine program, we have also been providing these same services to families from Ukraine. When Ukrainians first began arriving to Orange County through U4U, they were calling our office saying they've been denied benefits. Why did this happen? Because the Office of Refugee Resettlement had not yet ever made any indication to our local social service agencies that they were indeed eligible for these benefits. Had we had an OIRA at that time, this would not have been the case. OCJCR is motivated and guided by the biblical commandment to welcome the stranger. It's with love and compassion that we do the work we are doing, and we plan on doing much more of it. OCJCR wholeheartedly supports the proposal for Orange County to launch an Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. Thank you very much.
Next speaker, please.
Good morning. My name is Monica Eve Glicken. I'm the Executive Director of the Public Law Center here in Santa Ana. We provide free legal services to low-income and vulnerable residents of Orange County in various areas. And we are here to support Item 42 and the creation of the OIR with certain amendments. Every day in our work, we bear witness to the challenges facing the very diverse immigrant and refugee communities here in Orange County. In the last year alone, our immigration unit has served clients from over 44 countries, speaking 19 different languages, with different gender identities, with different sexual orientations. They are Black, they're brown, they're AAPI. Some arrived last month, some have been here in Orange County for 20 years or more. In particular, we're seeing rising numbers of families fleeing violence in Central America and South America. And at our brand new legal clinic in Irvine, at a food bank, we are seeing increasing numbers of young Ukrainian families, some of them with very small children. What do these folks have in common? These are hardworking people, these are strong people, but they are in need of support, and their success is our success. The OIRA could play a crucial role in coordinating and connecting these folks with services and resources, but it must establish trust by being an independent office, by not having a relationship with ICE, and with a mandate to serve all of Orange County's diverse immigrant and refugee communities. Thank you. I urge you to vote yes.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The next speakers are Wally Hanifzai, Joseph Norales, and Tammy Syke.
Good morning. My name is Sajida Sultani, and I'm a resident of Orange, city of Orange here. And I serve as the executive board member of AMU, an organization dedicated to primarily serve the African-American Muslim community through social services to support and mentor the new Afghan refugees to become self-reliant and to empower future generations to pursue higher education and enhance their skills by providing them with the necessary tools and skills. Orange County receives hundreds of new refugees and immigrant families each year, many of whom have fled dire circumstances in their home countries. By creating this new department, it gives us the opportunity to live up to our values and ensure a welcoming and stable transition for those families as they begin their new lives here. By the creation of an independent Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs is also an investment for the county. There are federal, state, and philanthropic investment that the county currently is not benefiting from because of the lack of capacity to pursue these funding opportunities. These opportunities range from federal infrastructure funding to funding for legal and social services to opportunities to invest in
If you could wrap up,
business.
please, it's time.
I urge the Board of Supervisors to vote yes on the creation of this office.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. My name is Wally Hanifzai.
I'm a resident of Costa Mesa at the moment. Today I just wanted to thank the city of Orange County and everybody that's here today. And the reason why I want to thank everyone is that, and why it's so important to have a centralized location or an office for an immigrant is that my wife couldn't come here. She is a doctor. She works for the state. She works at Cal State Fullerton. We have a private practice. We are behavioral health therapists where we provide counseling services to all of Orange County residents. And at the same time, we have a nonprofit organization where we try to do community work for the immigrants. And the reason why we do that is because we have lived and we have personal experience knowing how to deal and how to work with all these families, because we know the struggle that people usually endure in those times. And at the same time, it goes back to it. We're very thankful for everybody here in Orange County. Orange County has opened their doors for us in the past 8 years. We're moving down to City of Fullerton pretty soon. This is our community. This is our city. And we look forward to seeing this resolution being passed. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors. My name is Joseph Navalis, and I'm a resident of Irvine and a managing attorney with Asian Americans Advancing Justice, Southern California, a nonprofit that serves the OC population. As an attorney with AJ SoCal, I come face-to-face with the OC immigrant community on a daily basis. Although we are open to everyone, our nonprofit caters to Asian American population of OC and have assisted Vietnamese, Koreans, Cambodians, Filipinos, Indonesians, and so much more. I have seen how these communities have added to the history and prosperity of Orange County. This is why AJ SoCal supports the creation of the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. The creation of this department will be able to coordinate and assist immigrants and refugees to get the proper and culturally sensitive legal services that they need. It is important, however, that the OIRA to be an independent office. It is integral that this office be an independent office to ensure that it has the full ability to collaborate and coordinate with other agencies and community partners. Furthermore, it is important for the office to be inclusive of all ethnicities and all statuses. Immigrant is a broad term, one that encompasses Latinx, Asian, Pacific Islander, Black, Middle Eastern, African communities, and so much more. It also includes all statuses, from undocumented to refugees and asylum seekers to DACA recipients to legal permanent residents. The Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs can't be an Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs without serving every ethnicity and every immigrant. We therefore support the creation of this office. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The next three speakers are Aslam Dada, Khalil Duji, and Caitlin Brazier Aceves.
Good morning. My name is Tammy Sheikh, and I'm a resident of Anaheim. I also serve as the Director of Resettlement at Uplift Charity. As a refugee resettlement agency, our priority is ensuring our newly arrived families have proper tools and resources to successfully transition to living in America. My parents were immigrants from Pakistan in the 60s, and today I stand here tall and proud, not just of my own parents, but of all the first-generation immigrants and refugees that came to the U.S. to not only create a better life for their children, but to become productive and essential members of their respective communities. Immigrants make our communities better. No questions about it. And creating an independent Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs is necessary to create more efficiency, resources, funding, and economic opportunities within the county. I urge the Board of Supervisors to vote yes on the creation of an Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs with the amendments offered to ensure the office is representative of the needs of various races and ethnicities within our county, including the African, Asian American Pacific Islander, Black, Latino, Middle Eastern, and South Asian immigrant populations in cities throughout the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. My name is Khalil Dewji, and I'm a resident of Fullerton for the past 37 years. I serve currently as the president of Shia Muslim Council of Southern California, an organization dedicated in serving humanity. Our organization primarily serves a variety of ethnic groups. Immigrants are an integral part of our communities, an essential part of our culture within Orange County. A robust and independent Department of Office of Immigrant and Refugees Affairs is a necessary step in creating more efficiency, funding, and economic opportunities within the county. Orange County receives hundreds of new refugees and immigrant families each year, many of whom have fled dire circumstances in their prior county. The creation of new department gives us an opportunity to give up our values and ensure a welcoming and stable transition of these families as they begin their new life. I urge you to consider to pass item number 42. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The next three speakers are Yesenia A., Yesenia Altamirano, and Sergio C. Roman.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Caitlin Brazier Sebes, and I'm a proud homeowner and resident of the city of Santa Ana, where I serve as a board of trustee for the Santa Ana Unified School District. Being from the South Coast metro area, I have been a constituent of 3 of our current county supervisors. Today I am here as a longtime community member and staff of the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, CHIRLA, to advocate for the creation of a robust and independent department of the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs here within the county. For the last 10 years, I have served as the Orange County Regional Field Coordinator with CHIRLA, providing educational workshops and outreach on topics essential to the well-being of our immigrant community, such as immigration fraud prevention that frequently preys on families with children with special needs and causes family separation, as well as closing the gap on access to information on state financial aid for our undocumented students. We provide these educational trainings for county agencies like the Social Services Agency, the Healthcare Agency, the Regional Center, and the Orange County Human Relations. We have seen a consistent need and immense interest across all sectors of service providers and agencies for increased support in addressing the unique barriers facing our diverse immigrant communities. An Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs that is created intentionally by working directly with immigrants and refugees, as well as community organizations, is absolutely crucial for the health and well-being of our entire community. Thank you for your time and attention to this important matter.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Yesenia Altamirano. I am a proud daughter of immigrant parents, born and raised in Orange County, and currently residing in Anaheim, California. I'm also the OC regional organizer with CHIRLA, the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, who's been serving the community for over 35 years. We're working alongside our immigrant communities to achieve a just society fully inclusive of all immigrants, regardless of their status. And we're here to ask you for your support in voting yes for the Immigrants Office, independent and also inclusive of all immigrants, regardless documentation status, to ensure that their families are well taken care of and they have a trustworthy place to come seek help with. Thank you and have a great one.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The next three speakers will be Daoud. Looks like the last name is Malityer. The organization is CHIRLA. Second speaker is Jorge Urquiza and Carlos Pereira.
Hi, my name is Sergio. I was brought here when I was 7 years old by my parents. My parents were immigrants, and I am an immigrant. I would like to thank this country. Thank you, America. Thank you for giving me this time to express myself. The need of an Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs is very crucial for the development of immigrants, because if you invest in the development of people, then people will give back to this country the way it's deserved to be given back. I was able to go to college to receive a certificate of leadership. My wife is a published author. We are both on our way to increasing our education and getting certified to be able to help people that have gone through domestic violence and abuse. We are giving everything we can to give back to this country. And in our congregation, in our community, in our city, we always will advocate for people. And if I had a place for resources from a young age, I would have been able to give more. But unfortunately, this is not the case, and we hope that you can vote for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning.
My name is Jorge Urquiza. I live in San Juan Capistrano, and I'm a member of CHIRLA, the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights. I'm here to support the item 42 and ask you, Orange County supervisors, to vote yes to the creation of an Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. Immigrants are an integral part of our communities and an essential part of our rich culture of Orange County. A strong, independent Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs is a necessary step in creating a more inclusive, compassionate, and multiracial Orange County. The creation of this department provides us the opportunity to live up to our values and ensure a welcoming and stable transition for these families as they begin their lives here. This office also will help to families like mine, which have been here for several years, but it's been difficult for us to obtain the information and in our language. Currently, county resources, personnel, and information do not have a coordinated hub, creating an obstacle for immigrants and refugees to navigate and excel in a new country and satisfy their basic needs. This office can make a world of difference in easing the burden these families are carrying. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The next three speakers are Esther, Patty Kabata, and Michelle.
Go ahead.
I heard my name. My name is Carlos.
Yep,
I think
go
I
ahead.
was first. Good morning. My name is Carlos Perea, Executive Director with the Harbor Institute for Immigrant and Economic Justice. My organization, along with Rife, el Centro Cultural de Mexico, the National Day Labor Organizing Network, and the Orange County Justice Fund, have submitted a letter to the Board of Supervisors signed with 11 organizations in support of the Office for Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. With over 930,000 immigrants and refugees in the county, such an agency has been long overdue. However, we urge you to establish this office as an independent office from current county departments and ensure that all immigrant and refugee communities in Orange County, regardless of immigration status, are served equitably. We're particularly concerned about segments of the Latino immigrant community that have been historically underserved. As county agencies have long known and acknowledged, the COVID-19 pandemic has exposed deep systemic inequities within the county government in the services and resources accessible to certain populations, including cities of Santa Ana and Anaheim, which are home to the largest immigrant communities. The slow response from the county during the pandemic has shown the urgent need to prioritize these communities and ensure their unique circumstances are taken into account. We call on you to take proactive measures to guarantee no communities are left behind and receive the necessary services and support to recover and flourish. That must also include undocumented communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The next three speakers after Patty is Carolyn, Patty, and George.
Good morning, Board. I am a resident here of Orange County, born and raised. I have an issue with this particular resolution because when you look at the documents, it doesn't state where the funding is coming from. You know, will you be taking away from other programs to sustain this? Because when COVID happened, you guys were taking money left and right, creating all sorts of things without even looking at the long-term effects of how are you going to continue to fund this. That is a problem. There's people here saying so many great and wonderful things about people immigrating here to this county, but what about the people that already exist here and that are living here? What programs will be removed to sustain this program that you want to create? And I understand that this is coming from a good place, but what about the residents that live here? And right now, the public, there are so many people in the public that have so much distrust in this board because of all of the lies that have been told to the citizens. I mean, the actual person that is participating, sir, aren't you under investigation for the state of California right now? This is ridiculous. How are we supposed to trust anybody here? That is the problem. If there were people that sat in these seats that had the respect of the community, then you would have people wanting to come in here.
And that'll be time. Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Carolyn from Aliso Viejo.
I am speaking to item 42 and have questions about the staff report and what it's really about. The report lists office funding and impacts as non-applicable and to be determined. So kind of wondering about accountability. The next thing I ask is, why now? The staff report talks about the plight of Afghan refugees throughout the report, and one would assume the creation of this office would be for Afghan resettlement. But are we expecting an influx of Afghans? The report talks about 500, but all of a sudden it's this huge creation of this huge office. So I'm thinking that the staff report talks about the Afghans, but then when it comes down to listing responsibilities, it talks generically about refugees and immigrants, not Afghans. And so my concern is that this is really an attempt to resettle hundreds of thousands, millions of immigrants and refugees coming from the southern border. And this is called gaslighting. And again, I'm wondering why now? Is it to possibly get all these immigrants off the streets before the 2024 election? The staff report also, again, is like a camel's nose under the tent. And I think it is possibly to do the bidding of the treasonous border
if you could wrap up, please.
Of
That's
the Biden
time.
administration.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The next three speakers are Stella, Linda, and James. Stella, Linda, and James. Next three speakers, Janeth Busio, Hani Hadai, and Laura Hernandez.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Stella from Fountain Valley, and I'm an immigrant from Singapore. My question is, why are we intentionally creating a welfare state starting here in Orange County? We all know very well whatever gets adopted and implemented in Orange County will affect California, and whatever happens in California will impact the whole of America. Why is Orange County being designated as a central hub in providing resources and advocacy efforts to take care of the cartel, illegal immigrants, the violent criminals, as well as the mentally ill that are being forced upon us by the Biden's open border policy? These are not just Afghan refugees. We see the endless illegals pouring into our state and country every day. Yet, we can't even take care of our own veterans and homeless crisis happening right under our nose in our own neighborhood. We clearly see this as another opportunity for your administration to seek federal funds in millions and billions to coordinate and provide resources and care facilities and so on, just like how Dr. Clayton Chow did. And he has since resigned after massive investigation on no-bid contracts. Through numerous investigations,
If you could wrap up, that's time,
reviewed.
please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Good morning. My name is Janeth Busio. I'm the Orange County Regional Organizer for the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights. The reason why I'm here today is to share with you the experience that I've had for the past 5 years in organizing student leaders here in your county, in Fullerton, in Irvine, in San Juan Capistrano. My experience, although a lot of them are doing a lot for their families in higher education, there's still a lot of information that they don't have, even when they're attending college. Having a centralized location where we can have immigrants and refugees get that information that already exists, these programs that already exist, would be very beneficial for a lot of the folks here living in Orange County. So I implore you to please consider the Office for Immigrant and Refugees Affairs. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
My name is Linda from Orange County. I do not support establishing any new department at the behest of state and federal governments that support open borders. I do support establishing an inexpensive, streamlined Office of Communication for immigrant and refugees that is independent from any existing state or federal organization to serve legal immigrants, visa holders, and vetted refugees. There should be a relationship with ICE, and this office's job should be to direct these legal immigrants, visa holders, and vetted refugees to the many organizations who spoke previous to my being here. Could OC restrict these services to legal immigrants, visa holders, and vetted refugees? I am concerned about accountability and cost. Orange County once refused to be a sanctuary city. We do not want people flown or bused to us during the night. While we spend money on this new office, which should be small and more of a clearinghouse to direct to other nonprofits, I also want my OC tax dollars used to sue the federal government to protect our borders to stop illegal immigrants.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Hello, my name is Laura Hernandez, and I'm the coordinator for the Orange County Rapid Response Network, and I'm here in support of item 42. I hope that none of anyone's ancestors, extended family members ever have to flee their country of origin and come here to Orange County as it is right now, because they will suffer. They will suffer and they will see the hardships that they have to endure just to be able to get into school, to be able to get into college. So I really implore y'all to implement this as an independent office and to work closely with community organizations that deal with people on the ground every day. I ask that you all implement a just, independent Office of Immigration and Refugee Affairs that works towards the dignity and respect of all immigrants living in and around Santa Ana and Orange County. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The next three speakers, Marisol Ramirez, Carolyn, and Kate.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors. My name is Hani, and I am a resident of Anaheim and Orange County. And I also work for the Arab American Civic Council based here in Anaheim, Little Arabia. I am here today to voice my support for the creation of an independent Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs here in Orange County. I immigrated to the United States from a beautiful country that never sleeps, Beirut, Lebanon, and have been a proud member of Orange County and the United States of America for 7 years. I migrated to the States because of financial collapse, lack of security, and uncertainty. Leaving your home, parents, relatives, friends, colleagues, and starting a new life in a foreign country is not an easy task, especially if you're 7,500 miles away. As well, my grandparents did the same in the late 1970s, and my uncles in the 80s and 90s, and myself in 2017. I urge you to vote yes on creating an independent Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs run by a director that has support of local immigrant and refugee servicing organizations, since I, as a permanent resident or a green card holder, had a lot of questions but had the hard time to find, such as not knowing if you are outside the country for over 6 months, all the months or years stayed in the United States, you are zeroed and trashed. Not knowing if you stay outside the country for over a year, you need a re-entry form.
If you could wrap up, please.
I urge you to support this bill. It helps everyone and helps everyone.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Chairman and Supervisors. My name is Carolyn. I live in Santa Ana, and I highly respect the Vietnamese refugees who are escaping communism and coming to this country, and others who are escaping communism to live in the last free country. I am also okay with people who are immigrating legally and work to contribute to our economy and support American values. However, most of those coming across the border now are bringing fentanyl and human trafficking, which are huge problems in Orange County. It would be best to put the money and efforts to work with San Diego County and other border counties to help stop the deluge of people coming across the border illegally which is a national security issue. Please do not establish this office. Thank you.
Speaker, please.
Good morning. I don't think that the timing of this is coincidental at all. The U.S. has immigration laws for a reason. When immigrants follow those laws and become citizens, they know they're Americans and they are no longer immigrants. Once upon a time, immigrants needed a sponsor. We need to follow our immigration laws. Only one speaker here, well, two, said they were proud to be American. This makes me sad because we are all Americans. This board has authorized $1 billion in the past year for homeless, drug addiction, and mental illness. We have problems here. How are we supposed to help every illegal walking over the border when we are a sovereign nation and we can't even help ourselves? I do not want this board to put an immigration office in Orange County. This will put Orange County and California into a welfare state. This money should go to hire border agents, ICE agents to stop the fentanyl, the drugs, human trafficking, and fighting the cartel.
If you could wrap up,
American
please.
children and American people are dying.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors. My name is Marisol Ramirez, and I'm the Director of Programs for Orange County Communities Organized for Responsible Development. I also chair the Board of Directors at Latino Health Access. On behalf of OCORD, we have submitted a letter in support of Item 42 to establish an Orange County Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. OCORD's mission is to build the power of historically marginalized communities in OC, most of which are composed of immigrants and refugees. OC is composed of immigrants that are essential workers and are the backbone of this economy. And yet still, we know that seeking access to well-deserved resources is a struggle in Orange County. Far too many have struggled due to confusion on how to navigate systems. And by establishing this office, we can ensure that the next generations can feel a sense of belonging and welcomed by providing the support that they need. Accord urges the Board of Supervisors to commit to involving community residents and immigrant-serving agencies in the process of appointing its director. The director must be someone who represents the immigrant and refugee communities and must be someone who understands how to build cross-sector collaborations and can leverage all county resources. We urge that this appointment process is made equitable and that leaders are highly considered. Accord stands firm in the support of the establishment of the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, and we look forward to a full vote in support.
Thank you. Any further speakers?
And Mr. Chairman, I've called all names, but I will recall those just in case somebody did not hear their name. Michelle, George, Aslam Dada, Habeb Tu, T-U, Z, last name is Abadi, E-B-A-D-I, Luke Van Lampt, Ghazali Salim, James, Esther, first name looks like D-A-O-U-D, last name starts with an M, Mohik Atrihun, and last speaker, first name is O-W-C-I-Z, last name starts with a D.
Are you coming up to speak, ma'am? Okay. If your name's been called, come on up to speak. No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, Chair and Supervisors. My name is Najia Munira Khonzada, and I'm speaking from Anaheim. I'm one of the Afghan women champions and politicians that I fled Afghanistan in 2021 through the U.S. evacuation flights. I had my points written here, but after hearing from speakers that they are against this board, it gave me, I got emotional because I'm one of the members that, I'm one of the person that I have lost my close family member, my brother, because of not being out. He was killed by Taliban in October last year. And I didn't have a place to go and knock the door to help him to save and protect his life. And I have still my family members at risk. So I support the letter which is sent by CARE. I don't want to repeat the points because it's less time. We do appreciate that you are concerned about the funds, but human rights is important. The life of people are more important. The protection of life of people who are at risk, they are more important. I have the kids of my brother and his wife with me here, and I'm taking care of 4 people. See that I'm a new refugee here. I don't have any support, and I'm helping them. How much it's difficult for me to pay the rents, to take care of his kids, and all of these. So please, I'm supporting the establishment of this office.
Thank you.
And the letter which was sent by CARE.
Thank you very much.
No further speakers, Mr.
All right.
Chairman.
All speakers having been called, let me bring it back to the board. This is a D1 and 4 item, and I'll start with I see Supervisor Doe. Supervisor Chafee?
Yes.
Either of you? All right. I've got Supervisor Doe first. Oh, all right. Supervisor Chafee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank everyone for spending part of your morning with us and sharing your views.
Excuse me, did my name get called, Esther?
Yes, it was called.
Yes.
Okay, then after you speak, then
Thank you. No. We're through with public comments. We're back to the board now. Supervisor Chafee, floor is yours.
Excuse me, I would like to speak.
Supervisor Chafee, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. In collaboration with
Supervisor Chafee, go ahead. Order, please.
Go ahead. Please, the time for public comments is over. You may speak at the end. Excuse me.
No, ma'am, you didn't. Your name was called twice, and we've closed public comments. There will be opportunities later to speak on the item. You are out of order. Please sit down. Supervisor Chafee, continue with your item.
All right, thank you.
If you'd like me to clear the room, Supervisor Chafee, I will. Otherwise, floor is yours.
All right. I think you can speak at the time for public comments then, so you don't have lost your chance
Order,
to speak.
please.
Speak at a later time. Okay. All right. In collaboration with Supervisor Andrews' office.
Gentlemen, ladies, please be seated or we'll clear the room. She was called twice. There is a process. I'm not going to argue with you, sir. There is a process by which we do things, and I will clear the room. I will be clearing this room so that this county's business can be completed and it is not open for debate. Supervisor Chafee, if you'd like to continue, please. If you would rather order be restored and have them seated, I will clear the room.
Well, I don't want to speak over them, so
all right.
I think we need to
all right.
have a rational process.
Your process now is sit down, or I'll order the sheriffs to clear the room. Yes, ma'am. Yep. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, last chance. Sergeant, would you clear the room, please? Board is in recess.
meeting of the County of Orange Board of Supervisors will begin shortly. If you would like to address the Board of Supervisors, please follow these steps. Complete a speaker request form. Deposit your completed form in the box adjacent to the speaker podium. Public comments can also be submitted electronically via email at response@ocgov.com. The meeting of the County of Orange Board of Supervisors will begin shortly. If you would like to address the Board of Supervisors, please follow these steps. Complete a speaker request form. Deposit your completed form in the box adjacent to the speaker podium. Public comments can also be submitted electronically via email at response@ocgov.com. The meeting of the County of Orange Board of Supervisors will begin shortly. If you would like to address the Board of Supervisors, please follow these steps. Complete a speaker request form. Deposit your completed form in the box adjacent to the speaker podium. Public comments can also be submitted electronically via email at response@ocgov.com. meeting of the County of Orange Board of Supervisors will begin shortly. If you would like to address the Board of Supervisors, please follow these steps. Complete a speaker request form. Deposit your completed form in the box adjacent to the speaker podium. Public comments can also be submitted electronically via email at response@ocgov.com.
All right, we are back on the record, and we were on item 42. Supervisor Chafee, you had the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank everyone for their patience. I think civility is something we strive for, and that includes respect for our opportunity to speak as well. So in collaboration with Supervisor Andrew Doe and his office, I'm bringing this item forward to establish the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs in Orange County. This office would establish a services hub to enable the county to better assist our immigrant and refugee population by centralizing resources and services in one place. Immigrants and refugees in our country come from many nations, such as Mexico, Vietnam, China, Korea, Philippines, India, where I served as a Peace Corps volunteer, Iran, Taiwan, El Salvador, and now Ukraine. According to the 22-23 Orange County Community Indicators Report, more than 930,000 of our Orange County residents are foreign-born. Orange County's robust economy is fueled by many immigrants and refugees who have arrived from all over the world. We get their talents here. In 2021, 76,000 Afghan refugees arrived in the United States, and over 500 settled in Orange County, and now we need to help the Ukrainian refugees. Community-based organizations to assist immigrants and refugees with settlement in Orange County. This office will support and promote immigrant and refugee self-sufficiency, permanent residency, and civic engagement in partnership with local organizations, many of whom you heard speak and are very anxious to help. Supervisor Doan are recommending this office be established and the CEO's office and staffed under the guidance of a Director of Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. This is not unusual. We've established other offices, including the Office of Independent Review, Office of Campaign Finance and Ethics Commission, Office of Care Coordination, Population Health and Equity, Office of Suicide Prevention, all under the direction of a director. When refugees arrive, their most basic needs are missing. When they arrive, they essentially are homeless. They need food, housing, transportation, education, medical service, and jobs. Due to communication gaps, these existing barriers, many refugees and immigrants have trouble finding the help they need, which can lead to adverse outcomes, not just for these families, but the community at large. Fortunately, we have organizations you heard from this morning, Uplift Charity, Access California, and many other community-based organizations who stepped up to help our immigrant and refugee population navigate these obstacles. We've also had our own Orange County Social Services Agency and Orange County Healthcare Agency who've done a great job in responding to the waves of refugees that have come to Orange County. We've seen it firsthand and heard from organizations, immigrants, and refugees themselves that are having a centralized location supported by local government and help them overcome these challenges. The Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs would be that support. You'll coordinate government agencies. Sorry, I've lost my place. And community-based organization to assist immigrants and refugees for resettlement in Orange County. In the last couple of years, Supervisor Andrew Doe led the charge for the county to prioritize helping Afghan refugees and Ukrainian refugees seeking asylum here. I was honored to join him in those efforts. Since I've been in the office, I've seen the county lead with kindness, including showing kindness to immigrants and refugees seeking asylum in Orange County. We face difficulties when trying to coordinate some of these efforts due to lack of structure and formalization of the process. We want to further the county's vision and initiatives of building healthier and stronger communities by creating a one-stop office, if you will, a hub, to support our immigrant and refugee populations. In addition, this office will encourage maximum coordination among agencies, many of whom do their own fundraising and provide services at no cost to the government. So, as a county, we play a pivotal role in helping refugees and immigrants integrate successfully into the community, showcase their talents, their culture, and economic contributions. That benefits all of us. Before I turn it over, I want to thank the community-based organizations who assisted us in developing the foundation for the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, including the Council on Asian American Islamic Relations, Asian Americans Advancing Justice, Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, and the Public Law Center. We've heard a little bit from Supervisor Andrew Doe. If he'd care to add to his previous remarks, I would invite him to do so. But before I do that, I'd like to make a motion.
Item has been moved. Is there a second? And moved and seconded.
Well, no, I'd like to read the motion, if I may. I move to direct staff to establish an Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs within the county of Orange that will serve as a central hub for coordination of services, resources, and advocacy efforts. I further move the office be established initially within the CEO's office and staffed under the leadership of a Director of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs to begin the operation of the office. And that is my motion.
I'll second that
That is
motion.
the second. All right. And we have Supervisor Doe, followed by Supervisor Foley.
Actually, I just want to have some quick follow-up comments. I applaud Supervisor Chafee's motion. I just want to remind us that there are no such services as immigrant services. What we're talking about is coordinating services between many different departments, different aspects of needs, whether it be health, social services, education, housing, among the many needs that they may have. And so by putting it in the CEO's office, together working with care coordination, that is what would be most efficient in delivering these services, is that it allows for the coordination of services across county departments. And there were a lot of comments made, and I noticed they were basically read off of some talking points, that somehow we need to have this department be independent and inclusive. The implication is that somehow without that directive from the board that the county and county employees and county departments would not do those things, and that's just the furthest from reality. When we had the Afghan refugees come, within a very short amount of time, our healthcare agency and our social services, working with this board, we stood up services quickly within a matter of days. And And so it was interesting to see some of the advocates coming here, having gone through that experience with SSA and HCA and housing and OCCR community resources, to come here and somehow advocate that it needs to be an independent department for that work to be done effectively. And frankly, I just don't see that as ringing true based on our own personal observations. So I appreciate your motion, Supervisor Chafee. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor Foley.
Thank you, and thank you to all the speakers who spoke to us. The empowering stories of struggle to success, I think, was very impactful for me. I also, prior to the meeting today, asked our county staff to put together a list of how many people are we serving right now who are refugees and in what cities. We have about 246 individuals that we're currently serving, and in the 5th District, they're residing in many cities: Aliso, Corona del Mar, Dana Point, Irvine, Costa Mesa, and Laguna Niguel, hosting the majority of our refugees, Ladera Ranch, Newport Beach, San Clemente, and San Juan Capistrano. And so to me, this is very important that we make sure that the office is serving the whole county because there are a lot of individuals who are living in, I think it's majority in District 4, 3, and 5. So thank you so much for bringing this forward, and thank you to the speakers who gave empowering and impactful stories.
Thank you, Supervisor Sarmiento.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So a lot has been said this morning, and I think all of it is meant in good faith. I think we all have our opinions, and we have a right to those opinions. You know, for me, a lot of what was said I could identify with because I'm an immigrant myself. Our family arrived here in Orange County in 1965 when I was a year old. So I just told you all how old I am. But the reality is that, you know, we all call this place home, whether we arrived, 57 years ago, whether we arrived, just a few years ago. And I think all of us want to make sure that we live as neighbors and as people who are from a county that we're proud of in a way that we can be supportive of one another. I know that, there have been waves of immigrants throughout the country's history. And, now we're talking about folks from Afghanistan. In the past, it's been folks from Vietnam, others from Central America. But we have to go way back to think about the waves that came from Eastern Europe, those that came from Germany, from Ireland, from Italy. And, look, now we're celebrating Oktoberfest. We celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and we absorb those as our own. So those are good things about what we're talking about. So there were mutual aid systems back then to make sure people, found a place in how to navigate a new way of life in a new country and new language. So I think that's what the goal is here. So I'm encouraged by the office being stood up. There is some question in my mind about whether it's the best way to do it is to stand it up through an existing department. I think we want some autonomy in an office like this because it does create efficiency. We're already serving many immigrants, as we've said, through other services, whether it's through HCA, SSA. So this isn't a novel idea. And we serve immigrants from the entire continuum of that of the status, whether folks are seeking asylum, whether folks are documented or undocumented. There are services that are being provided already as we speak. To me, I see this as a way to create efficiencies with this, where this office can hopefully spearhead and assist outreach into those communities because there are so many other organizations that are working with this department. My, initial instinct is to see whether this is operating well because we have a lot of other independent offices that I don't see much work being generated from. There's not much accountability. There's not much, effectiveness. So to the extent that we can measure, the success of services being delivered here, I would, recommend, and again, this was done with the help of 2 offices, but I think it's also been with the help of many other organizations in the community. And I think that's what we have to be responsive to as well. So I do think that there should be a level of autonomy and independence for this office to go forward. I would support that. I would also support the fact that there should be a task force created in assisting in the selection of who the director is going to be. And I think there are so many good, well-respected names that have signed off on supporting the creation of the OIRA. They can play a robust role in making sure that there is a qualified, effective director. Finally, what I would say is that, this should be brought back to us in maybe 6 months for us to just assess and see what the direction is. Is it being effective? Are we serving people? Is it meeting its goal and its mission? The last thing we want is for there not to be any accountability, no metrics on this, and for it to be, a hollow effort. I think it's well intended. I think it's, I think there's some, good faith in bringing this, but I do think we have to measure and make sure that it's being done effectively. I think that we need to serve, as the name states, refugees, but immigrants as well. And again, this county already does it through all its efforts. So those are the recommendations I would want to have incorporated as sent to us by many of the advocacy groups that have been supporting this. So those are my comments for now. I know that this is an incremental decision, and this will be something that will take on the identity of how the board changes. The board is going to evolve like this county has evolved. And, there will be different faces and different people in these seats, and they will be changing. And so I do see that this is also an evolving part of that effort. So thank you. I'll go ahead and...
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. We have Supervisor Chafee. Your item, bring it on home.
Yes, I have some further comments. I think an important word here is patience. It'll take a while to establish the office, to recruit the right people to run it. Both San Diego and Los Angeles have these kinds of offices, but they're different, and I don't think either one is a model necessarily for what we will do here. We will find our own way. We'll do what's best for our county, and I think we'll be better in the end of the day than either San Diego or what LA is doing. We have proposed a vision statement and a mission statement. Hopefully we'll have maybe a workshop or two to have people come in and comment, and that may address some of Supervisor Sarmiento's comments to get their input. And as not actually part of this motion, but part of what I can do, each supervisor has some discretionary ARPA funds. So the District 4 discretionary funds, I'm proposing that $500,000 be applied to help with the funding of this office, particularly to help with volunteer coordination in all of the offices that need to be part of it. This office will not actually provide a service itself. There are no doctors there. There won't be all those kinds of things, but rather to direct you to resources, to people that can provide those services. It's a centralized opportunity. I think it'll become over time more efficient and actually be cost savings for the county as a whole. And so with that, I call the question.
Thank you very much. And let me weigh in, having not said anything. I will be brief. I want to move on from this item. A couple of things. One is the cost has raised some issues, and they resonate with me in my office. I appreciate the discretionary funds helping defray that cost. I've had opportunities to chat with the CEO's office about it and understand they will be watching the budget closely and help alleviate some of those concerns that I have. I will say, out of my respect for the lived experience that Supervisor Doe brings to the issue, for the experience Supervisor Chafee representing his communities, Supervisor Sarmiento representing his communities in particular, bring to this, I am confident that the CEO's office can come up with an office that does what is requested, and we'll have an opportunity to bring it back and take a look at it. Two other quick things with respect to speakers. The amendments from CARE came to us at 1:09 last night, were forwarded to us this morning, way too late for us to consider and take action on. When this item comes back, perhaps we address in more detail those issues. I share the one commenter's request that this be inexpensive and a streamlined office. And finally, I must push back a little bit on one of the speakers who trotted out what is, to my mind, the old cliche, diversity is our strength. I do not believe that. I have never believed that. The strength of this nation is its ability to take diverse immigrants and their experience, make them Americans, make them part of the fabric of liberty that this nation has grown up with, and made us, number one, so welcoming, and that our immigrant communities have so long wanted, rightly, to be a part of. That is our strength in making Americans, not diversity itself for its own sake. With that, the item is before us, and are there any opposition or abstentions on the item? Seeing none, it passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, my plan had been to take item 43 next, and we do have the registrar of voters here. However, we're 2+ hours into this meeting. My expectation is the next item will take a significant amount of time. It is the lunch hour, and so in respect to all the folks who are here, rather than keep you around for another 2 hours, I propose that we read closed session, go into closed session, deal with closed session, and then come back out to complete the business of the day. So, County Council, if you would read, or Madam Clerk, the items of closed session.
Closed session 1 under County Executive Office, Conferences Labor Negotiator, pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6, Agency Negotiator Colette Farnes. Employee organizations include Association of Orange County Deputy Sheriffs, Orange County Employees Association, Orange County Attorneys Association, International Union of Operating Engineers, Association of County Law Enforcement Managers, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Orange County Managers Association, Teamsters and workers represented by United Domestic Workers of America, and other non-represented employees regarding terms and conditions of employment. Supplemental Closed Session 2, under County Council, Conference of Legal Counsel, anticipated litigation, pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D4, number of cases, 1 case. And supplemental closed session 3 under County Council, Conference of Legal Counsel, existing litigation, pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1, name of case, Susan Peck et al. Versus County of Orange. Mr. Chairman, we have no request to speak on any closed session item.
All right, we will do closed session. We will be back hopefully by 1 o'clock, and we will then take item 43 and then the rest of the business of the day. Thank you. We stand in recess.